So in this session, we are going to learn what is point of sale. In the short form, we'll call it as POS. So in this video, we are going to see what is point of sale. We're all going to use this point of sale transaction and what is the difference between normal sales and a point of sale. So as I said, a POS, it stands for point of sales. Point of sales could means a retail shop to check a counters in a shop or any other transaction where a sales transaction take place with the various equipments by using a retail outlets or cash register, card reader, barcode readers, etc. POS is a cash register which adds sales total and computes a tax calculation from the money tendered and automatically adjusts the store inventories to debit the amount of inventories sold. So POS is a single transaction where you can use for sales as well as for receipt. So there is no credit concept in a POS. If it comes to a point of sales, a normal sales transaction. So in this transaction, you can go with a credit sales or a cash sales, whatever it is. But in POS, you have to go with a cash sales or a card sales. You have to clear the complete bill in POS transaction. You can't ask for a credit. For example, so when you go to a supermarket to buy a groceries to home, so you'll go to a cash counter, you will make a bill. So we'll not ask that we'll clear the bill tomorrow. So we'll clear the bill then and there itself by using a different modes of payment. Either you may pay through cash or through card or through gift vouchers or through UPI payments by using like Paytm, Google Pay, etc. or by using multiple methods of payments, cash and card, card and UPI, something like this. So it is a combination payments also. And the POS will automatically calculate a balance to be returned. For example, in a supermarket, you go and buy some milk. So if the bill amount is 45 rupees, so the cashier will make a bill and he'll say that bill amount is 45. So you may pay 50 rupees. So the cashier will enter the 50 rupees received, which is cash tendered. So the system will itself shows what is the change you have to give to the customer. So as 5 rupees, and the same thing will be printed in the invoice also. Like cash received 50 rupees and balance given back 5 rupees. So this is also main feature in POS. So this kind of invoices will be seen in retail shops, petrol bunks, hotel industries, etc. So if you go with an hotel industry, after having a food, will not say that we'll pay tomorrow. Either you have to pay first and you have to have food and then you have to pay the bill then and there itself. There is no credit option in POS. So we'll see how to configure this in Tally Prime. So we have already created a company in the name of Creative Business Solutions. So POS is not a default voucher type. So if you see our voucher types, so we don't have a POS as a voucher type here or a point of sale. It is not a predefined voucher types. We need to create it. So for the same, so first we go to create voucher type and we'll create a point of sale here. So I can give a short form as POS. So POS is a type of a sales. So I'll group it under sales voucher. And everything will be same. I'm not going to do in the first column. So let it be everything same. I'm not going to enable or disable anything in the first column and we go with print voucher after saving. Let it be no. So once I enable a POS invoicing, so for each and every invoices, Tally will give you the pop-up message to print a invoice once you complete the transaction. So we'll enable use for POS invoicing as yes. You can observe a print voucher after saving option has got enabled automatically. And we are getting an option called message to print 1 and a message to print 2. So what kind of message I can give you? So if you have seen supermarket bills, what is the message they are going to print in the bottom of the invoice? Something like thank you for visiting and visit again. So message to print 1 and message to print 2 is nothing but a message in the first line and message in the second line. And we'll accept this screen. This is how you can create a POS voucher type. So we'll accept this screen. So now we'll pass some transaction in Tally Prime. So we go to vouchers. So what is the shortcut key for POS? The shortcut key is not created here. We have only contra, payment, receipt, journal, sales, purchase and even other vouchers. So even if I go with other vouchers, I can see a POS voucher here. The shortcut key is F8. The same shortcut key is also for sales because a POS is created under sales voucher. So the same shortcut key will be used for sales and a POS vouchers, and it will ask whether you want to go with sales or a POS. So if I go with sales, for example, if I click a sales option here, it asks which one you have to pass, a sales or a POS. So I go with the POS. So in POS, party account name is not required. So if I take an example of supermarket, the cashier will not ask your name for a billing. So they just start a POS billing and they give a invoice. They will not be keep on entering a name, address, all those things. So you can skip a party name while passing a point of sales invoice. So next we have a sales ledger. So we'll create a sales ledger. So in my system it is already created. So I go with sales. I've created a sales as a ledger under sales account. And to pass a transaction of POS, inventory is mandatory. I have created an inventory. So I'll just show you how I have created an inventory part. So I went computer as a stock item and units as numbers. So usually the unit of measure will not be predefined here. So if it is not created, we need to create accordingly and we need to pass our transactions. So we go with computer as one number 35,000. So in the same manner, so we'll create one more stock item like keyboard. So without inventory you can't pass a POS transactions, and it will ask for a unit of measure. So you'll not get numbers here. So I've already created it, so it is showing here. So if you want to create, you can select an option called create option here and just give symbol as numbers, a formal name NUMBER as numbers, and unit of code will be numbers, and we'll accept the screen. And we'll give a quantity as 1 and the rate as 250 for example. So after listing all your stock items, so while passing this POS transactions, you can use a barcode scanner to enter our stock items into our system. So once it is done, you can take a cursor to a cash option. A cash ledger is a default ledger. You can select a cash. So it will ask for a cash tendered. So if I give 35,249 and if I press enter, Tally is not accepting. The reason is my invoice value is 35,250. Either you have to pay exactly 35,250 rupees or more than that. You can't give even a paisa less. So even if you give 35,249.99 paisa, so even though Tally will not accept the invoice, it says you are receiving a less cash amount. So either you can give 35,250, so Tally will accept. So there is no balance to be given back to the customer. So if I enter 35,500, the 250 rupees has to be given back to my customer. So this is how you can pass a POS transaction, and will accept the screen. So once it is accepted, it will ask you to print. So we go to our preview option. So this is how a POS invoice will print. Your sales invoice will be printed in A4 sheet with the complete details. The POS will be printed in a complete details in a shorter form. And this POS invoice can be printed in on normal POS printers, which is very small, a printer which will be used in your supermarkets. So it says what is the invoice number, on which date the invoice has been raised, and what is the time you are going to take a bill. And if you have created a security control part, if you have given a username, then even the counter name will be printed here. And we choose a list of stock items what we have purchased, and the total amount of the invoice is 35,250. It says that cash you have to receive 35,250, cash tendered 35,500, and the balance change returned back to the customer is 250. So the net effect of this transaction is 35,250 rupees. And we are getting a message like thank you for visiting, visit again, which we have configured in voucher creation field. So in simple words, normally if I see a journal entry without our inventory, without a POS and all, so it says debit cash 35,250 and credit sales 35,250. So this is the normal GB what we used to pass in our books of accounts. But it comes to a transaction, if it comes to a barcode scanner, cash register, the balance which has to be calculated, all these things has been included in this point of sale invoice. So we'll see one more transaction. If customer pays the same 35,250 by using debit card or a credit card and even a cash. So we go with the party name as not applicable, sales. So we go with computer as one number, 35,000, keyboard one number. See, the cursor is not moving to a rate column. So once you predefine the rates, it is going to pick automatically, or so whatever the rate you have entered in the previous bill, the same rate will be picked automatically. So the cashier will not increase or decrease the item rate as per the customer's requirement. So system will pick a rate automatically and we keep on just scanning the barcode of the stock items. So in this case, so if customer is paying 20,000 rupees through card by using debit card or a credit card, and the remaining 15,250 paying through cash. So how do we enter these details in POS? We are getting only cash option here. So in this case, in the shortcut key panel, we have an option called multi-mode payment. So we go with the multi-mode option so that we get an option like gift, credit or a debit card, check and cash. So the payment can be received in this methods. So we go with a debit card and credit card if the customer is using a cards to pay the bill. So here I'm not created a bank ledger. So what I'll do, I'll go with a bank ledger and I'll create my bank account where the account has been opened. I go with Canara Bank and a bank account. So whenever the customer swipes a card, it will be debited to my Canara Bank account. I'm not creating a customer bank account, I'm creating a company bank account here. And I'll accept the screen. So out of 35,250, I'll receive 20,000 rupees through card and I can enter a card number here. So the card number will be a 16-digit number. So I'll enter 16-digit number here and it is completely optional. So if you want, you can enter it or you can skip this card number. And the remaining amount I go with cash of 15,250 rupees and I'll accept the screen. So this is how you can use a multi-payment modes. So in this transaction, we are using debit or credit card and even a cash to pass this transaction. And we'll accept this screen. So once you complete your transaction, so it will take you to a print option. We go to a print preview and we'll see a preview. So it shows a list of stock items what we have passed. It says through card you have received 20,000 rupees with the card number. So we have entered all the 16-digit number, but it is printing only the last 4 digits card number to identify it, and the remaining amount we have received cash. So the total amount is 35,250, which is matching with your invoice. So this is how you can pass a POS transaction by using multiple mode payment options. So we are not making a sales and then we are not going to pass a receipt voucher. So in the same transaction, a sales as well as receipt has been taken care in a single transaction called POS. And we have an option called gift voucher also. So sometimes we give a gift vouchers to redeem that. For example, either it may be a Sodexo coupons or someone have gifted you the gift voucher for you. You can go and to the supermarkets and you can redeem that. Or it may be in the online also. If you have some reference code, you can use the reference code and you can get some discounts, right? So how do we give a gift voucher here? So in this case, the first transaction will be a receipt entry. For example, if I take a Big Bazaar, so if you want a Big Bazaar gift vouchers, so you go to a supermarket and you'll meet a manager to get a gift vouchers. You pay whatever the amount you have, so this for the same amount, or it may be plus or minus, the gift vouchers will be given for you and it'll pass a receipt entry. And for the same gift voucher will be having a validity period. So they'll be giving a condition that the same voucher has to be redeemed within 3 months, 6 months or within a year. So whenever you go to a grocery shops and whenever you purchase it, the same gift voucher will be used and you can redeem it, and the remaining amount you can pay through card or a cash, or the entire bill amount you can redeem by using a gift voucher. So for the same, the first transaction will be a receipt. So we go with a receipt voucher here and we credit gift vouchers. So we'll create a new ledger in the name of gift vouchers. So this will be created under either debtor or a creditor, it depends. So you can go with debtor balance here. I'll accept the screen. So I'll give 10,000 rupees of gift voucher and I'll receive cash and I'll accept the screen. So now if you pass a POS transaction, I can go with party account name as not applicable, sales ledger as sales. I go with the same transaction, computer one number, keyboard one number, the same value 35,250. So here in the gift voucher screen, I can select a gift voucher here. So I've sold for 10,000 rupees. Either you can redeem the entire 10,000 rupees or even less than that. So here I'll go with 10,000 rupees which I've used a gift voucher, and through my debit card or through credit card I'll pay 20,000 rupees with a card number, and the remaining amount I'll pay through cash of 5,250. So this is how we pass a POS transactions by using multi-mode payment. So in this transaction we have used gift voucher, bank and even a cash. So once you accept the screen, so it will take you to a print preview. So we'll enter this and we'll see a preview part. So the first part of your item list of items will be same, but the method of payment have some details like gift voucher 10,000, credit card debit card number 20,000 rupees we have paid, and even the number it is showing the last four numbers. So even though I have entered only four numbers, it is showing the same four numbers. Either you can go with the 16-digit number or the last four numbers you can enter, and the cash amount has been received for the balance. So this is how we create a POS transactions. For the reporting part, we go to a profit and loss account and a balance sheet. So when you go to a profit and loss account, so we'll have a sales account here. So it will be showing the POS transaction which we have passed. So we have passed 3 transactions. The same it is showing here as POS entries. It is also our sales. So next we go with balance sheet, current asset. So we have received through cash and bank. So if I enter cash for example, it is showing the first transaction we have entered and we have received completely through cash, so we are getting 35,000 rupees. In the second transaction, we have received only 15,250 in the mode of cash, and the remaining amount we have received through card. So this will affect your bank ledger. So in the third transaction, if you see, we have received cash of 5,250 rupees itself. The remaining amount we have received it through gift voucher and through bank account. So this is how we can see a register if you are using a multi-method mode. So Tally will debiting with the proper accounting terms. In the same manner, if you see a bank ledger, it sees only 2 transactions where we have used a card. One we have used for 20,000 rupees. The other one is also used for 20,000 rupees with a different transactions. So no need to pass our receipt entries to receive a cash or through cards. The single transaction will make all your work done with your accounts statements. So this is how we can create a POS transactions. Thank you.